Hello everybody, welcome to another All Maverick reaction, back with some more Rings of Power with me, Alan, and Jez.
Hello.
How's it going,
Not
Jez?
too bad. Hello.
We are slightly late on this one, as I was away at a stag do, so apologies. This is episode 4, The Great Wave. Something I wanted to talk about just popped into my head. You know how there's been a couple of times where potential spoilers, I guess, maybe? Don't know, who knows? Be warned in the chat. So I was doing a little bit of reading about, like I did after last episode, about characters. In fact, actually, that's not true. I was re-watching the last 3 episodes, and I suddenly heard the name of the, you know, I've suddenly forgotten his name now, but the smith who is going to be building that tower. So remember I mentioned about a video game, War of the Ring, where like there was a whole thing in it about how Sauron made the rings or corrupted the elves to make the rings, blah, blah, blah. Well, in that game, you play as a human who basically an elf blacksmith ends up kind of becoming joint with you. So like his spirit becomes part of you. So he helps you fight and stuff. And he uses like this hammer is his kind of weapon. So sometimes he just basically kind of takes you over your body. So you're playing as a human and you've got this elf inside of you. And he gives you heightened powers, right? Because he's a spirit, blah, blah, blah. Well, that is that elf guy.
Oh, okay.
So in the video game, it's his ghost that goes into you. So he is the character who Sauron convinces to sort of make the rings, as it were.
I thought he looked suspicious.
Whether or not... Well, he's not bad. He's just kind of tricked by Sauron. So again, some of that obviously is part of the Lord of the Rings lore. Some of that is straight out of a video game. Now that video game does play pretty fast and loose with the lore, so let's not take it as an exact. But yeah, it suddenly made me realise when I heard his name, I was like, hang on, that name does ring a bell. And I thought, that does sound like the name of the guy in the game. I looked it up. It's the same guy. Let's assume within this TV show, he's probably not going to die and his ghost become part bodied with a human, but yeah, interesting little thing. Anyway, that's it for a bit of a spoilery thing there. I just thought it was interesting how that character did tie in, and that I always assumed that elf guy in the video game was someone they'd created for the game, not necessarily someone tied straight into the lore. It'd be great if I can remember his name. Lord something or other. Celebrimbor or something. Yeah, something like that. Yeah, that's the guy. Him. Cool. Right. Anyway,
let's do it.
You can start watching again now. Hey everybody who skipped the spoilers, how's it going? We're about to go with this episode. Right, you ready, Jez? Sure. Okay, so let's start rolling in 3, 2, 1, go.
A tower.
That motherfucker.
Have you considered seeking partners outside the Bronwyn?
I'm gonna say I don't think much of the theme tune.
No, I agree with you there.
Sometimes our island just needs a stretch. Just like you.
Oh dear.
Seems like more than a stretch.
What the hell?
I'm going to assume that's not a good sign.
If I was that mum, I'd be like, can I have my baby back?
It is a perfect day, Queen Regent.
That is a great wave, to be fair.
What does it mean?
Look down, each of you, at the gill crests you bear. A heritage of mighty hands. Of men who laid the sea wall. Who raised Armenelos. Triumph of our civilization. But now one elf could threaten us.
Is he aspiring to be leader, by any chance?
Elven hands will never take Numenor's helm.
I'm coming. And your name is...
Hey, Arian. Land. Now.
Sauron was once your people's enemy. I call on you to finish the task left undone.
That'll go well today.
Numenor has chosen another path.
Not all Numenor.
So one of the comments that someone left on their old video was the fact that apparently everyone here lives a longer life, like Aragorn.
Yeah.
It was one of the gifts given to them by the elves. So
there is a tempest in me, and it will not be quelled by you, Regent.
Nope, I think it will be.
That did have a good bit of like the older Gladriel in her there.
Yeah. Just gonna fuck it off. It's gonna go now, mate.
seen you ease that Helliard proper 100 times. You're off the sea guard! All three of you!
Oh shit.
You've really fucked his mates there.
Cheers, mate.
You just set our whole lives on fire! What have you ever done but brood and blubber about your dead mother?
Where are you going?
Going, staying, what does it matter?
Going to be king.
The real problem is...
That's where he's going. These are so well done, aren't they?
Yeah, they look good. It's more like a...
Oh, he's a creep. Yeah.
Look at that. Nah, that's not Sauron. If it was, he wouldn't choose to look all scarred up, would he? He'd be a handsome looking fellow.
He's got the type of Sauron glove though, hasn't he?
Why do the orcs call you father? You have been told many lies. Some run so deep. Even the rugs and roots.
He's going to hit him with some home truths.
To untangle it all. But that is something only the gods can do, and I am no god. Not yet. What are you? Go to the men who've taken refuge in the old watchtower. Deliver to them a message.
What message?
I'll be there for dinner at 6 p.m. That's the. Make sure you got something ready that I like.
Where's the rest?
That is the rest.
How far do you think like 6
Yeah,
potatoes
no,
would
I'd
stretch?
start to say with the amount of people there.
It's about Waldrig's root cellar.
Here he is, the lad with a 60-year-old man voice.
Is he
gone to pub?
He's struggling, isn't he? You can tell by the way he's walking. Is it like similar to how the ring was with Frodo?
Well, that's what I was wondering. That's what I was about to say. Is this thing got kind of
Yeah.
hole in the tool, or is he just a bit of a hothead?
Ron, Tam, I'm not going in there. There might be more food. Come on, this place is deserted.
Nope. Fuck it out. Just a head left.
Some intestines. I'll be sprinting out of there. That's it. Yeah, I'll be gone. Oh, fucking hell, there he is.
That'll scare you a bit, Jez.
Where'd you get that?
Oh, shit, what?
So it doesn't stay formed if it's not getting...
Give it here!
That orc's taking a risk.
Oi! I found him! He has the hill shining his...
Uh-oh.
Well, they are after the sword, like before. Oh! I was about to say, surely he's going to hear that.
He's into the ward, do you reckon? It's got to be. He ain't got anywhere else, has he?
Yeah.
So you didn't get out that quick.
Oh, this is the tower then, I guess.
What troubles you? Either he's avoiding me or he's hiding something.
Durin called me a prick.
Are you suggesting Durin's got himself a wee girlfriend?
There is none other than you, milady.
Who'd have him? Dwarven climbers like my husband can make the descent to Quartz Chasm in just a few hours.
Oh, shit. It's getting a little bit, secret heated there.
And what are the other reasons?
I'll tell you later.
Hush now.
Look at this guy, what an absolute stud. Well, he didn't do a very good job of making sure...
Young mind below the mirror.
He didn't do a very good job of making sure he was escorted out.
You lost elf! I know exactly where I'm going.
It's really cool down in those mines, isn't it? With the waterfalls and...
Oh, yeah.
So from our conversation last time, is this where we feel they dig too deep?
Yeah, I don't think we're there yet, but they definitely do dig too deep.
Rich crown, kiss the stone, polish your gems and gold.
I'm going to try that.
A new ore. Lighter than silver.
Yep.
Harder than iron as weaponry. It's perilous to mine. My father has restricted our every efforts.
What do you call this miracle ore?
In our tongue, grey glitter. In yours, something like Mithril.
No, it would be
Mithril.
Mithril. I came because 20 years is far too long to stay away.
Keep it.
That seems like a bad idea.
token of our friendship.
You won't keep a secret and you let a piece get out. Like, that seems like a terrible idea, because, you know, he doesn't have to say about it now. If someone finds out and goes, what the fuck's this thing?
Uh-oh. Oh dear.
Queen's Court isn't exactly your usual battlefield. You do well to identify what it is that your opponent most fears.
I asked her to fight for your people.
But that wasn't what provoked her anger.
I demanded to speak with her father.
She wants to be the leader.
The king in the tower, who no one has seen in years.
See what happens when you stop galloping.
You are to be shipped back to the elves under armed escort tonight.
She's being deported.
This is modern Britain.
I wouldn't advise that.
I can't very well let her leave.
You could, if you knew exactly where she was going.
Apologies, Your Majesty, for the intrusion. But
He no longer answers to that.
Forgive me. I did not know. Then it is time for truth between us.
Oh.
Palantir.
7 seeing stones there once were. The other 6 either lost or hidden. Place your hand upon it. I must warn you.
I have touched Palantiri before.
But you have not touched this one.
That one looks really messed up, doesn't it?
Oh, fucking hell.
Ah, right. So this gives the... This is why she was dreaming about it, because, yeah.
It is Numenor's future you saw.
You believe I will bring about Numenor's downfall?
Only Numenor can bring about her downfall.
If the evil rising in Middle-earth is left unchecked, it will spread and take us all. I know what it is to be the only one. Perhaps neither of us have to bear that burden alone any longer. Stand with me. Let Numenor fight alongside the elves once more.
Seems unlikely that's going to sway her.
I'm sorry.
Seems weird to just assume that helping is the negative when, like she said, it could be not helping.
Seems your boy had more sense than we allowed.
Fucking hell, look at him. It's not going to get through.
Where's Theo?
He said he'd be right behind me.
I don't even know what the exact words.
Not here.
I think these orcs are very stupid or he's very lucky. I can't work out which might be a bit of both.
Yeah, I think it's... I was about to say, little from column A, little from column B. Axe comes around the corner.
There we go.
Looks like meat's back on the
There we go.
Oh.
That can be his mum. Oh no. This is proper Lord of the Rings slow-mo, this is.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh.
Look at that.
Oh, fucking hell. You want to watch out, mate.
Saved by the sunlight. I'd be running. There might be a bit of cloud coming in a minute.
Yeah. Well, yeah, probably some arrows coming at you in a minute. Yeah. Oh, is this like a funeral for the out for the dwarves?
I cannot stop
trapped.
thinking that if you'd not gone down there, Durin might have been in that shaft when it...
I just pulled out the last one, alive. All of them alive.
Oh, that's good.
Your father must be so relieved.
He shut it down.
Even the hottest coals eventually cool.
Sometimes I wish I could tell him exactly what I think of him.
How is it that you and my husband met?
I told you, I saved him from a hill troll. Two
Two
of them.
Yes, I know. I was asking Elrond.
Then I fear I have no choice but to amend your husband's account. There were three. It was I who saved him.
You wouldn't remember your face if you were gazing. Forgive me, Father.
There is nothing to forgive.
Elrond has invited me to go with him to London tomorrow. There is something more at work.
Good, my son.
Go to London. Find out what.
Be interested to see him in an area of elves.
I have a message. That your people may live if you forsake all claim to these lands and swear fealty to him.
And if we refuse?
He's coming for us, Tirith.
Well, the problem there is some of them will probably go, yeah, all right, because they haven't got that much love for the old elves, have they? So,
and also the current living conditions are pretty shit.
Have you heard of him, lad? Have you heard of Sauron?
Oh dear.
Starfall means his time is near. It is to you and me, lad.
What, is Sauron the what?
To be ready.
No, it's just saying it means it's coming.
That's the look of you coward.
Yeah.
Oh, sent her away, is it now? Ah.
Now the petals are starting to fall.
She's like, shit, I made a mistake here.
So, I've decided to personally escort the elf back to Middle-earth.
Well, that was an easy way to find out, wasn't it?
The expeditionary force will be made up of brave sons and daughters from across fair Númenor. Who is willing?
I will serve.
Got nothing better to do now, have they?
I will serve.
They go, oh, fuck off, Isildur, mate. You've already screwed us over this week.
Whoa.
Wow, there we go. That was Lord of the Rings, The Rings of Power, Season 1, Episode 4, The Great Wave. These episodes get longer every time. I think by the end of the season we'll
it'll be like a movie by the end, won't it? How many episodes are there in this?
Yes. I don't know, I was thinking 10, but maybe I just made that up. I don't know if there is
sure. 8 episodes.
8 episodes. Oh, so this is the halfway point. There we go.
Yeah.
We are halfway through. Right. Jez, what did you think of this
strong
episode?
one. I'm really enjoying it.
I was going to say, I think that they finally starting to go somewhere. I think, for me, up until now, Galadriel's story's been probably some of the weaker bits I've found. But I feel like maybe we're starting to kick that into some kind of speed. It's only taken them 4 hours, but, you know, I think I think they're starting to pace hers up a little bit more now, maybe.
No, I quite like the ending. I quite like the ending there of that little Dev standing together and, you know, the journey to Middle-earth, and something had to happen for, I know it's still quite early days, but for Isildur to start heading that way. I really like the dad, the dad's character. I know he didn't do much this episode, just gave some like looks. That's all he seemed to do.
Isildur's dad.
He didn't. Yeah.
One thing that felt a little weird for me in the Galadriel thing there was, I don't know, like I didn't quite get the direction of that. So the guy who at the end there was kind of standing opposite the Queen Regent, I didn't quite get him, I think. Like, because in that early chunk, he seemed like he was trying to play the rabble to get what he wanted. You know, like we were talking about him trying to find power, get into power. But then that didn't really seem like the narrative by
but I think also
I don't know. Maybe
you know, I think he's one of those, well, for me, he comes across one of those people that will play the odds and also play the room, if that makes sense. And
play
know,
what he thinks will serve him
Chancellor
best at the time.
Which, you know, pretty much you'd probably say is probably the right hand man of the Queen there.
Yeah.
If you know, given her powerful speech, what else is he going to do? I suppose he has to go along with it, doesn't he?
Yeah. But then what the people there seem to want is like for the city to stand, right? They seem worried about. So maybe they'll all be happy to be on the side of the elves now. If that's, I don't know.
I think
like,
the sign from the tree has probably made a big difference to everyone.
Yeah. I liked what was going on there, but I did find it a little. Literally, in the last 3 minutes, we went from get her off this goddamn island to let's go and help. One little thing that I thought was interesting that I don't think we've had mentioned so far, it's only a very small thing, was they spoke about, so obviously Isildur got himself kicked off the boat, got his mates kicked off the boat as well, and they mentioned about Isildur's brother. We don't know what's happened to Isildur's brother as far as I'm aware, but it's interesting to know that there is a brother somewhere, or something's happened. We also know that his mother's died, so because that got mentioned as well. But just an interesting thing, right? When you hear people talk about siblings and the like, they do sometimes have a tendency to surface at some point.
When prequels are concerned, I do like it when they cast characters to have a very similar appearance to the original characters, and I feel they've hit the mark on everyone but Elrond. There's just something I just can't when you put him next to Hugo Weaving. I just can't see the similarities there, but I can see it in Gladriel. I just don't.
Yeah.
When I look at the other characters, I think, oh, it's just a young Gladriel or whatever, but I just don't get that with Elrond, and it's not important. That's just me. I just don't. I like the actor in it. I like the actor in it, and he just. I don't ever feel see Elrond in it. It's really. Yeah.
I really like, and I actually noted it down here. I really like all the stuff that we get between like Elrond, Durin.
Yeah,
and
no,
Disa,
I like
his
it.
wife.
Yeah, that was quite a good performance
all
of
their
the
stuff
wife
together.
singing.
Yeah.
I didn't realise it. I didn't realise it was her
mountain.
when, cause obviously, before it went to the shot of her actually singing. You heard it in the background beforehand, didn't you? And I didn't quite.
No, I think that's the point, right? You would go, oh shit, because up until then it just seemed more like score. So I can't think of the term for it right now, but there's a term for like score music, which is music that we hear but the characters don't, compared with music within the world, which everyone hears, right? Oh yeah, diegetic. Diegetic music. So diegetic would be, it'd be like if you went to a bar and everyone was listening to music, that'd be diegetic. Whereas other music that's just there is score music, like most of the music in this. I mean, because there is quite often in Lord of the Rings, you do hear characters
singing.
You do hear score with singing. You don't think that it's going to be diegetic in that way, so you don't. So that was nice. It was it was good because we knew she sang to the mountains, right? We knew that was part of her role. So actually going, oh yeah, cool. That was I agree. That was a nice moment. Adar seems like an interesting character. There's some interesting stuff there. He's obviously, we know he's an elf.
So you're not thinking that Adar is Sauron, is that right?
I don't think it's Sauron.
I'll be thinking the stranger is.
Well, they
pointed out to that in this. I thought they pointed to it in this episode where they said about the falling star.
He said it a sign for it.
Which,
but it could just be it could be a little bit like the leaves falling from the tree, though, in that like they're two things that are connected, but not necessarily. He could be Sauron, but I don't know. To me, it feels like it's like the kind of thing you'd see on an old tapestry predicting things to come, or that like it starts with this, and that's kind of like the first.
The only reason why I was thinking of Adar was just they're looking for. Not the sword as such, whatever it is, the handle of whatever it turns into, but
it is kind of a sword.
Also,
right?
He's wearing there's just something about the glove he wears, like that metal glove. Just
so
I don't know.
The reason I say not is because Sauron as a character outside of Lord of the Rings, where we're used to seeing him as a big old eyeball or a big fucking knight metal helmet wearing guy. His kind of thing is he gets people to do what he wants by trusting him, and that this guy feels like someone who's loyal to him in that regard. Plus, that elf has been to the Elven lands, from what he was saying. He could be fucking Theo.
We had no Lenny Henry in this episode.
50-year-old lad. No Lenny Henry. We didn't have anything with the half feet at all. I guess they're just moving though at the moment, aren't they? They're moving from location to location, but they might be coming closer to the Southlands. I would assume that if they're moving for they believe to be winter, they would be heading south, and we know that they are north of that area. Going back into talking a little bit about Numenor, I didn't also really get why they were so dead set on that side. When you're in a city that is built, given to you by the elves, to instantly believe that the destruction of the city will be caused by helping the elves seems counterintuitive to me. You'd think that they would take the city away from you if you don't help them. I don't know. Again, maybe I'm missing something there. Maybe it's too late at night. We're watching.
It's all paranoia and conspiracy theories, isn't it?
And yeah. It was good to see a thingy appear into it. A Palantir. The orbs.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah. Just had a mind blank there of what you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yes.
Interesting to see one of those appear. And obviously, the thing is with those as well, right? They do corrupt the way that people think.
There's
seven,
seven,
I think,
and six are lost.
And they've got one there.
But we know Saruman has one, don't we? In the later films.
Yeah, he will have. He will have one. Yeah. It didn't like.
No,
because
that one was more blue
crystal
crystal looking, wasn't it? Where his was very smooth and black, wasn't
black
it?
and smooth. Yeah. I'm looking forward to seeing Durin going to Linden. I think getting to see the opposite side. We've seen a lot of Elrond in a dwarven area. I think it'll be interesting to see a dwarf in an elven area as they continue to build this tower, which seems to be coming along pretty quickly. The dwarves are obviously helping with it, but up until now that he's been keeping away. It was Mithril that they had.
Do you reckon the thing that gets built that Frodo ends up having, the chainmail suit, do you reckon that's probably the only thing that survives or gets built and then before the downfall of the mine?
No,
or
because they know of Mithril. Mithril's a known entity, right? Because they talk about it like it's clearly like Mithril is very, very
it's very valuable
it's
and obviously
not
very
common.
rare. But that's what I'm wondering. Like, was there a lot of it made? Did they get much of it before it all went to shit?
I also did find that a little bit weird that I fat called out where he made him swear to secrecy and then gave him a bit to take with him. It's like, don't swear a guy to secrecy and then put him in a situation where somebody could find that and be like, well, what's that? And he goes, it's, I don't know. Like, I enjoyed this episode, but I enjoyed this episode, but it did leave me it did leave me scratching my head at a few places it didn't put me off at all, but there were a few interesting character choices there. But, they were all redeemed by watching Arondir catch an arrow out of the air and fire it back into an orc's head.
That gave me very big Lord of the Rings end of the Fellowship vibes with the old slow-mo run through the forest and the danger. Yeah. Part of me was thinking like I kind of know he's going to get out of here to send that message, so I knew there wasn't. But at the same time, I was like, part of me wanted something to happen to one of them in a way, because I think it would have.
I know what you mean.
Given that scene more of a.
He had plot armor on, right? Like
he had plot armor, but then I was thinking, is the mum going to take a hit here?
I did wonder if the mum might take
saving
a hit, because the kid's got the sword, so we know he's got plot armor. But she didn't really. So I
think the scene. I didn't want any of them to get injured, but I felt the scene deserved.
Yeah, you felt someone would get hit, right? With the amount of arrows that would fly in, and also, we found out right near the end that obviously the barkeep, whose name I think is Waldreg, maybe is he's
one of the followers
loyal to Sauron. He seems to be. He obviously was the original owner of that sword thing. So interesting to see where
it's buried under his floor, wasn't it? So,
it's buried under his floor. Yep. We know that Durin is now going to Linden. That's a little interesting thing for next time. And of course, Galadriel finally getting the help in the last 2 minutes of the Numenor people and heading towards the Southlands to try.
They're going to set sail in 10 days, so I would imagine that when we pick up next episode, they're going to be on their way.
I assume we'll see something with Halbrand there as well, because it is where he's from.
He's going to join him, right?
Yeah. No, I enjoyed the episode. I think it had a few head scratches in it for me, like a few, like why would this character do this, or
I get it.
Or like we say, this person isn't quite like themselves, or people's motivations. But as a whole,
I'm really enjoying the series as a whole. It's good. Yeah, good fun.
Cool. Well, anything else you want to talk about in this
Not from me.
Cool. Okay. Well, let's wrap this one up now then, Jez. Thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed this. Please leave comments below if there's anything you'd like to correct us on there, and give your opinions. Tell us what you thought about this episode, characters' motivations, thing you don't agree with. We always love reading those. And next episode, we're going to take a few moments before we start to actually chat about a few of those. So please leave them below. If you have enjoyed it, please subscribe to the channel as well. Remember, you can head over to allmaverick.com, our website, where you can check out our videos, our blogs, our podcasts, and our new news articles. You can also go to twitch.tv/allmaverick live on a Tuesday and Thursday evening. We're playing some of our favourite games. And if you want to check out our merch, go to allmaverickmerch.com. Plenty of hoodies and t-shirts available on there, tying into video games, TV shows, all that kind of stuff. You can also check the links below for the description to find links to our servers, our social channels, but most importantly, come join our Discord server and chat with us directly about
and Lord of the Rings.
We'd love
in
to
general.
hear your opinions.
It'd be great to have some of that chat.
What we could really do with is a Lord of the Rings pro on there who can correct us to all the things that we get stupidly wrong. Anyway, thank you for watching, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed this episode. We'll be back later this week, I guess, with the next episode of Rings of Power.
Awesome. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks very much, all.
Bye.
See you next time. Bye.